I think it's the simple things that people need to know about Paris. The first thing I do when I arrive here is I get myself down onto the metro and I pick up a book of 10 tickets. It costs about €15 and it's the cheapest and easiest way to get around whilst you're here. So I remember coming to Paris for the first time very clearly. I was a schoolboy and I remember standing underneath the Eiffel Tower just behind me and looking up at its enormity, only surpassed by my amazement after climbing the hundreds of steps to the observation platform and looking out over this beautiful, beautiful city. Paris is always brilliant. Every time I come here, it's fantastic. I think actually it's me that's changed. I get to come here because I'm lucky enough to work for a travel company that brings me here for work, and I get to come with my family now. So Paris hasn't changed too much. The things that I do when I'm here have. I now see a little bit more of the food and the wine, whereas when I was a schoolboy, I was perhaps seeing a few more of those traditional tourist attractions and iconic landmarks. Last night I dined in the Café de Paris, where I had the traditional dish of steak tartare. When it's as close as it is to Paris, perhaps just an hour on the train gets you into the French countryside. You get to enjoy some more of that famous French wine. You could be sipping a glass of a beautiful Bordeaux and nibbling on some French cheese in no time. And again, as a boy with my family, I used to holiday in the Dordogne, so I certainly recommend that. So my top tip, if you're looking for a deal or a way to come to Paris on a budget, is to use Expedia's add-on advantage. This is a program that we created because we're in the business of helping people go places. The great thing about it is that you can save 40% when you book a flight and a hotel. The great thing is that you don't have to book them together. You can book your flight and then you can wait right up until the day of travel if you want to, before you book your hotel, and still save that 40%. And this means that you get to save, but also get to spread the cost of that flight and that hotel. Expedia has one big thing on its mind, and that is helping people go places. We go to work every day to make it easier for people to travel the world. And I am so excited to be here in Paris telling you about how you can get here. In my free time, I of course love to travel. Most recently I returned from a trip to watch the whales in Norway, and only last year I spent my honeymoon in the northernmost part of Guatemala. All of these things are things that I book on Expedia, and it's the best place to work when you have the penchant for travel that I do. I tell them to visit Expedia.com, where they can take advantage of add-on advantage, but make sure they download the Expedia app. That's a great way of the important things when you get to a city, finding those experiences. So download the Expedia app and book perhaps a French baguette making course in Paris. What is more Parisian than that?